Hello everyone, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a holiday video. My favorite, well, no, Sephora hauls I think are my favorite, but these run up there. I love the Christmas season and I love a good holiday look. And you guys know I do very minimal, I don't do complex, so we're gonna do an eyeshadow look today using only 3 eyeshadows and a glitter, but literally only 3 eyeshadows. So if you are interested in seeing how I got this look and hopefully it inspires you to pull out some of your Christmas makeup and get started on those holiday glam eyeshadow looks, then just keep on watching. Okay, y'all, so before we get started into the actual putting this on my lids. So we're gonna just talk about the products I'm going to be using real quick. So I'm gonna use the BH Cosmetics Lit List palette. I've told y'all this is probably the best holiday palette I have ever come across. It has everything you need for holiday looks. And for me, holiday is red and green, but it also has the silvers, it has the blues. It's just absolutely stunning. So this is what we're gonna play with, and I'm only gonna use 3 shades. So literally the simplest look that you will ever come across. I don't do complicated. I don't have time for that. I don't have the know-how, honestly. So I like to play with minimal when I can, and this is what we've got going on. I will also tell you, I did pull out my Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter Liner in the shade Midnight Cowboy because I need to put these to use. They are old, and you know what? I can tell they're getting old because I lay them down like this, and starting, like, the product is starting to come out and kind of turn a little yellow, but you know, I'm still gonna use it anyways. So that being said, y'all, we're gonna go ahead and play with these things. I will also tell you, I had already pretty much done my face, but I did save the best for the video, which is blush and highlight. These 2 products have kind of been go-tos for me as far as the holiday season. This one especially, you'll see me put those on, and I'll let you know, I'll explain why I chose those. So that being said, enough talk. Let's get into this eyeshadow look now. So I'm starting out with a BH Cosmetics blending brush, and I'm using the matte shade Velvet. This is the brighter red of the palette, and I find that out of the 2 reds in this palette, it's the one that doesn't turn pink. So just gonna place this all over the crease. This is a fluffier blending brush, so it ends up looking a little messier, but it still goes with the look. And then blending it to the outer portion of my lid. Now taking a clean blending brush, I'm just going to go ahead and diffuse the edges. Even with the eye I had already done, it was looking a little bit unfinished, and so I'm just kind of smoothing that out just so that it looks a little bit more seamless. Next, going in with my tried and true Pro Filter Eye Primer by Fenty. This is my tacky base that I'll use for my intense metallic shade. It just helps to provide like a sticky, tacky base for it to cling onto and just pop even more. So with my finger, I grabbed the shade Mistletoe and placing this all over my lid, but notice I'm leaving like the inner portion kind of bare, because I'm going to go in with a different shade and then we'll clean it up after. So just using a kind of shader, almost slash smudger brush, I'm going to go in with the shade Pop Bottles. Now this is a very intense sparkly shade, and it's like the sparkle is built into the formula. It's not all loose glitter, but grabbing enough on there to where it's really going to pack a punch and placing it on the innermost portion of my lid and almost taking it upward, kind of like an arch, just kind of cradling that green, if you will. Now I'm just going to flip that brush over, and I'm going to go in back with that green shade Mistletoe, and I'm going to finish out the lid in the bare spots that I couldn't get when I placed it down with my fingers. So just kind of filling those gaps in just so that it looks nice and finished. So now using a smudger brush, I'm going to go in with the shade Mistletoe on the brush and just place it on the lower lash line. And I'm going to place it down in the middle because we're going to make this a red and green Christmassy lower lash line. So going back in with the red, just flipping the brush over, and then I'm going to place this on the outer and inner portion of the lower lash line just so that it all ties together. It matches the top or the lid, and it just looks extra Christmassy with being super simple in that I'm only using 3 shades. Now I'm going to go in with my Urban Decay Midnight Cowboy glitter liner and a small Morphe liner brush. Now I kind of wanted to put this glitter to use, one because it's beautiful, but two is that I feel like it's starting to go bad. So just going to grab some off of the little wand with the smallest liner brush I could find, because this is going to go in the crease area and I'm trying to be as precise as possible. So I grabbed quite a bit and then just going to place it as I would kind of a cut crease, just in that crease area directly, trying to be as careful as I can because you guys know glitter can go everywhere. So it's at a point where it's almost a little bit more watery than it used to be, again, because I know it's not as fresh, it's getting a little bit older, but still just as beautiful. This is one of my favorite products by Urban Decay. So as for liner, I'm going to use my Rare Beauty liner. I'm not going to do a wing. I'm still keeping my eye closed because that glitter liner, you do need it to dry down or it'll get everywhere. But I'm just going to do a very close line to my lash line and then barely extending it out, like hardly at all. There's not going to be a wing or anything because the focal point is the eye itself, and I feel like a wing would add too much to that. So going in with my blush palette by Melt Cosmetics and one of my newer brushes from the Sephora brush set, I'm going to go in with the shade Milagritos. It is a very light shade. Here's the thing about this palette. I was loving this the first few times I used it, and now I've kind of gotten to where I'm not so sure. But one thing about this palette is that it goes on really nicely in that it's not super intense upon the first get-go. You can kind of build it up, and that way you're not having to go back and do any kind of correcting because you overdid it. And then finally going in with one of the Hourglass holiday palettes from this year. These are one of my favorite products released this year. And I'm going to go in with the highlight. This is the Lighting Edit Universe palette, so it's the lighter of the two. And this highlight has been my go-to this holiday season because when I do super dramatic or very intense on the eyes, I don't do intense on the cheeks so that it doesn't take away from the eye look. This has such a beautiful look to it, like it doesn't sit on top of your skin, it just kind of melts in and just gives a beautiful glow without being overly dramatic, which is typically what I like. But for something like this where I want the attention to go to the eyes, I take it down a notch, and this highlighter is exactly right for that. So of course, decisions when it comes to lips. And this is Cruella by NARS. It's the lip crayon. And I didn't know if doing red on the lips was going to be overdoing it because I already have so much going on the eyes. This ended up being the perfect lip color for this. I mean, it tied in every possible Christmas idea that I had. So this was, again, Cruella by NARS. So easy. These lip pencils or these lip crayons are awesome. They're expensive. I think this one came in a set, but so easy to use. They last a long time, and this shade is just perfect. And it helps that I loved the movie. And with that, I get a finished look with using only 3 eyeshadows. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you're pulling out your own holiday eyeshadows. Alrighty, my lovelies. Well, thank you so much for spending a little bit of time with me today, a little bit of holiday time, going over and talking about and playing with Christmas makeup. It is my favorite time of year, and these are my favorite type of looks. I hope the same goes for you. Alrighty, my lovelies. Well, with that, we are gonna go ahead and wrap up today's video. I hope you found it helpful. I hope you are enjoying a most wonderful holiday Christmas season. I'd love to know what eyeshadow palettes you're using for the holiday season. Let me know in the comment section below. You guys know a lot of times that's how I find out about amazing products, is through you, but I do hope that you are having a beautiful season. Before I let you go, I just want to give you a very quick verse of the day, very appropriate to this time, and just to warm your heart, to motivate you, to encourage you, and most of all, to tell you that Jesus loves you. Today's comes from Matthew 1:21. Most of you will know this, and it says, "She will give birth to a son, and you are to give him the name Jesus." He is the true reason for the season, and it just brings so much joy to my heart to tell you that. I hope you are doing well, but if not, I know this is also a time of loneliness for a lot of people, so it is my prayer that if that is you at this moment, that Jesus would make himself very real to you, that your heart would feel a love and a peace that it has never felt before, that you would feel an absolute comfort, that loneliness would absolutely disappear. I'm sending you a very, very big hug, so much love, and I will see y'all in the next video. Until then, stay safe and stay well. Talk to you soon, my friends. Bye.